This is crazy, brutal, everything that you can imagine. The Hospital Bowl has occurred. We have multiple injury updates after the Hospital Bowl between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the San Francisco 49ers in a, once again, thrilling game that I was able to attend at Raymond James Stadium, where Baker Mayfield has solidified himself as one of the top quarterbacks in this league, if he was not already. But I'm Sebastian with Buccaneers Digest. Welcome back, everybody. What a weekend, what a game that was yesterday. The Buccaneers sit alone at the top of the NFC at 5-1. A remarkable start to this season, considering all the injuries that we have been facing and trying to work through and figure out. And like I said in my little mini reaction after the game, I was part of the MVP chants in the stadium, and just resilience. That is the theme of this season, and it is paying off in dividends. Todd Bowles, I don't want to hear any more slander on that man's name. He deserves to be in the Coach of the Year conversation right now, considering everything that we've been working through. Jason Licht, once again, just putting together one of the deepest rosters in the NFL, proving it once again, and a great showdown against a great head coach that we all know of in Coach Shanahan. So, I mean, where to even begin? Because there's just a million places that we could start. But first things you want to do is subscribe and comment and like this thing, because we're just building just something really, really special here. We'll be doing live streams for the next two Buccaneers games. First one upcoming is the Monday night game against the Detroit Lions. It's in Detroit. These are the away games. So I'll also be doing the Saints game the week after. And then it's the bye week, where we can hopefully get healthy, because man, oh man, are we really, really dealing with some crazy stuff right now. But does it really matter when you have the MVP on your team? So we'll talk about it. We'll break it all down. And honestly, speaking of which, like that was a special performance from Baker Mayfield. Once again, coming in just when all of his guys around him are down. And it wasn't just him. Rashad White stepped up. Sean Tucker stepped up. Tez Johnson, Cameron Johnson. I mean, it was all these guys coming in and really making plays, and Josh Grizzard with a fantastic play calling game. The deep ball has never been more alive in Tampa Bay, thanks to Baker Mayfield. But I really can't say enough here. He has done something that's really, really, I mean, we weren't expecting to see after Brady was here in Tampa Bay. And now here we are. We have a truly solidified MVP candidate, with everyone in, the TV pundits saying that he is the front runner right now, next to Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, also in the race. So going to be quite the race down the stretch. But we have faith in number 6. So I'm just proud that guy is part of this team and helping us win all these games. Because without Baker Mayfield, it's hard to imagine where we'd be right now. Greg Allman said that the Bucs' 5-1 record matches their best record ever after 6 games. Only started 5-0 one time in 1997, but then lost their next 3 games. So we'll have to see how the Bucs fare in these next few games. But if we start 6-1, it will be officially our best start ever. And beating the Detroit Lions, that's no slouch team in Detroit. We did it last year. We can do it again, despite all the injuries. Let's be honest, guys. This team, I don't think they're ever going to be doubted going into a game. That's going to be the game of the week. There's a reason they put it on primetime, and boy, were they right, because that's just going to be an electric atmosphere, and kind of bringing back some of the old NFC Central rivalry, maybe. We'll have to see. I expect nothing less than a close game. Just the way these guys fight, they believe in each other. The coaching staff, just the way they prepare these guys, no matter who's on the field, it has been really, really awesome to watch and see. Regarding Tez Johnson and just how he reacted after his touchdown, he said, "I asked Shep, as in Shepard, they're chanting MVP for me. I haven't done anything this year." And he's like, they're talking about Baker, Tez. And I'm like, well, that explains it. But yeah, he is the MVP. I mean, it's a great, funny moment for Tez. He thought that listen, we love you, Tez, no matter what. That was an amazing touchdown. Your first touchdown of the season and of your career. What a touchdown it was to put us up 8 points. I just overall really, really great energy from these guys. They didn't flinch. They weren't like, oh my gosh, like I have to be the wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2 of this team right now. They're like, no, let me make a play. And as soon as he makes that touchdown, he does a flip like like he did in the preseason. So really great stuff. And then Todd Bowles talking about the wide receivers had to say Cam and Tez really stepped up tonight. Really came into their own. We feel like they're really deep in that room. Can't afford to lose anymore, but we feel like those guys did a heck of a job. I mean, I can't agree more. The Baker Mayfield has had to deal with his starting 4 receivers all out in the second half of this game, basically. We had McMillan out for basically most of the season, and we'll see what happens after the bye. Evans has been out for the past 3 games. Godwin has only been in for 2 games, but he's still working on getting himself back to normal. And then Ibuka, who got hurt in the first half, and then was out for the second half of this game. People were like, okay, what do we do now? We have Baker Mayfield. That's all that matters. It's like what people say about we have Mahomes, we have Josh Allen. We'll make it work. We make it work every time. Listen, the 49ers, they made it work against the Rams the previous week. They had a long, kind of like a mini bye to prepare for the Buccaneers, and we still took care of business. Now, they obviously dealt with losing Fred Warner, which is a brutal, brutal injury. We hope he gets well. You never want to see that. He's one of my favorite non-Buccaneer players, arguably the best linebacker in the game right now. So you just only wish the best for him, and it was really unfortunate to see him go down like that. But the 49ers, they are also known to be a resilient team. They have a great defensive coordinator in Robert Saleh, and as much as he threw as much as he could at Baker, but in the end he overcame everything thrown his way. And obviously it's almost impossible to not talk about the 3rd and 14 scramble. I mean, he has 2 guys over him when the pocket breaks down. I literally, when I was in the stands, I turned away because I thought it was a sack. I was frustrated. I was like, man, brutal end of that drive. We're going to be in another close, stopping game. And then the crowd erupts because he wasn't sacked. And I quickly turn around to watch him move around, juke a guy out, and then get tackled and reach out for the first down. It was one of the most special plays I got to see in person. The stadium was erupting. And then a couple plays later, he throws that amazing touchdown to Tez Johnson. And the place went wild. That was just awesome. I really just was happy to see Tampa Bay supporting Baker and the Bucs. It was definitely the atmosphere was a lot better than the Eagles game, where it felt like it was half and half game. So really good stuff there, and really just again heaping praise on Baker because it's well deserved. He deserves to be the front runner for MVP right now, and it would be awesome to get our first MVP. I cannot say enough about what he's been doing for this team. And then speaking of Cam Johnson, Greg Allman mentioned that Bucs receiver Cam Johnson, undrafted out of Tiny Barton College last year, had played 22 offensive snaps all season before today. Just 1 target in 10 games in his NFL career. Came up big today with 4 catches for 64 yards and a touchdown in the Bucs win over the 49ers. He's also been featured in special teams, specifically the punt return game. But he really showed up as well. I mean, they have all been just doing Tez Johnson and Cam. The Johnson & Johnson crew have been doing really great stuff. They did really great stuff, I should say. And hopefully, we'll get some reinforcements back for Monday night against the Lions. It'll be a tall task if those are our guys, Sterling Shepard, Tez Johnson, and Cam Johnson and Ryan Miller as our starting 4 receivers. But listen, like I already said, we have Baker Mayfield. If he's healthy, if he's good to go, I believe that we can win any game. And that feels so good. It wasn't that long ago before the Brady era where it felt like we would go into games pretty sure that we would lose. That it's listen, I respect, every NFL team. I respect that we are an NFL team, but I don't think we're going to win this game. At this point, I'm just not going to think that. I'm going to go into every game assuming that we're going to win until something else happens. But that's just because how well coached, how well managed, the organization, and just everything is really clicking on all cylinders. Besides the injuries, which is obviously a problem, we need to get healthier. But a lot of these injuries are injuries that people can come back from, that they will come back from, and we're still winning games in the meantime. It'd be one thing if we were losing a ton of games, we're we just need to get healthy. Dude, we're still winning games while injured. that is reason enough to put Todd Bowles in the Coach of the Year conversation. And I just think that he's gotten so overhated for the fact that, like, okay, time management, or maybe not developing players as well, or maybe his defense hasn't been playing up to par as like an elite defense. It's hard work being a head coach. And sometimes not everything's going to go your way. You don't have the personnel that you need. Our pass rush really stepped up in a way that I was really impressed with this game. And then overall, speaking of the pass rush, Bailey Adams from Pewter Report had to say the Bucs defense came into the season starving for more takeaways. After only picking off 7 passes last season, the unit had 2 in the first 5 games, then it added 2 more in Sunday's win. It started with Vildor, who could probably be considered a cornerback 5 on the depth chart after McCollum, Dean, Morrison, and Parrish. But after a great training camp, the 6th-year cornerback waited it out and was ready to make a big play when the time came. Obviously, he was he was a little bit clumsy on his interception, was not able to take it for a pick 6, but it was still a fun and good play regardless. And then the pass rush was able to get 6 sacks on Mac Jones, which was just a really, really impressive just opportunity for the defense to make some plays. And Lavonte David, I also want to say, had a great moment. It was 3rd down. 49ers were driving, trying to tie the game up, and or I'm trying to remember if it was 21-20 at the time. Anyway, I believe that they were trying to tie it up, and Lavonte gets an amazing sack with could have been a forced fumble and fumble recovery all in the same play. They ended up reversing the fumble, because no call has gone our way yet this season. We've been battling the refs, we've been battling the injuries, and we still come up on top because we're just that good of a team this year. And I truly believe that this is a Super Bowl caliber team with just a lot of depth and a lot of leadership, a lot of guys who are willing to make plays in the most crucial moments. Lavonte with back-to-back weeks of making crucial fourth quarter plays that have really changed the game, and then Baker Mayfield obviously finishing the job on those certain circumstances and just whenever the team needs him the most. I mean, he started off slow in the first quarter, but then really picked it up towards in the second quarter, and then the second half, obviously doing what he does best. He had a really great play to Cam Johnson, a touchdown where he got hit. It was a roughing the passer call, but he got up and was all fired up. I think that was the big mistake that the 49ers made, was that the fact that they hit him like they did. And, it caused Baker to get fired up. It caused him to get mad, to get angry. He's like the Hulk. They might have to start calling him like the Incredible Hulk or some kind of nickname, because you won't like him when he's angry. It's literally like the mantra for him. And so anyway, but looking forward, I mean, we're going to talk about more about this game as the week goes on, but I do want to talk about what's kind of the injury status right now, because there's a lot of not so good news, but there's also some possibly good news. I do want to leave us with a glimmer of hope here. So let's break it down a little bit. Ian Rappaport reported this morning that the Bucs, I'll start with the bad news. Bucky Irving and Chris Godwin are out for this for the Lions game. Todd Bowles said that they are not in play to play against the Lions. That really sucks. It kind of explains why Bucky Irving about a week ago was really struggling not struggling, but was posting some weird stuff on social media, being a little goofy, a little funny. Like he clearly just wants to get back on the field and play, and so we all want to see him back as soon as possible, but we don't want him to get hurt in the process. So we will be another game without Bucky Irving, but it's another opportunity for Rachaad White to once again step up. Rashaad's been having a fantastic past few games, really taking over that RB1 spot and running with it quite literally. Chris Godwin out again, really unfortunate. It seems like his comeback is going to be a bit delayed. This year in particular will be just him figuring out what it looks like to be back on the field, how it feels to be back on the field, rather than, he's just back and it's back to his normal self. We have to be patient with him, but I do believe that, as the season goes on, he will look more like himself. And then once we get to the playoffs, they'll be ready to go and be playing basically like themselves. But the good news is, I want to transition to the good news. Ian also reported that the hope is that Mike Evans, Benjamin Morrison, and Zion McCollum can return to practice this week and possibly play against the Lions. That would be much needed backup and reinforcements for a big game against a contending team with the Lions. And I'm sure they feel the same way about us. But receiver help just at any point is going to be needed, because we'll be without Chris. Emeka Egbuka, they've reported that he is also likely going to be out for a little bit. We don't know how long. I think he's getting an MRI tomorrow, so we'll probably get an update on that tomorrow. But hamstrings, they tend to linger. It's not, like just like Mike Evans, he hurt his hamstring. He was out 3 games. So hopefully he comes back for this game. We'll see what happens. But, we have this upcoming game, which I doubt Emeka's going to play. We'll see if he comes back for the Saints game. But if he doesn't, he'll have the bye to heal up, and then hopefully he'll be back after the bye. But no Emeka, no Godwin, no Jalen McMillan. I mean, if we can get Evans back, it'll do massive, massive help because he demands double teams. He opens things up for the offense. And lastly, I do really want to talk about Josh Grizzard and the job that he has done this year. I think that the argument can be made that he is even better than Liam Cohen. And I know that might be a stretch for some people. Maybe he doesn't have as many trick plays up his sleeve or hasn't unlocked the run game. But think about the limitations that he's been working with. The offensive line injuries, the injuries to the receiving core, the running back. Everything, besides Baker Mayfield, has been the constant. And those two together have been doing some really special work this year. They've unlocked the deep passing game. Kate Otton's getting more involved now. But anyone who has to step up, the next man up mentality, they have been ready to go. They don't seem like they're overwhelmed. The offensive line, considering all the injuries and switch rounds that they've had to do, it's just been so impressive to see them hold up and really keep Baker safe for the most part. Obviously, it hasn't been perfect. Nothing ever is. But it could be so much worse. And we're gonna be tested next week against Aiden Hutchinson and the Lions in that game. We had to deal with them last year, but we'll do it again. We'll figure it out as we go. But I just wanted to tip my hat to Grizzard, as they should have a Coordinator of the Year award at the end, because I do think Grizzard is deserving of that. But in the end, question is for you guys, what is the main takeaway from this awesome Bucs victory against the 49ers? There's just so much to talk about, so much to be appreciative of. We are in the golden age of Buccaneer football right now. I'm just very happy to be covering this team at this time. They are so much fun to watch, the most exciting team to watch. Remember that we will be streaming the game on Monday night, just like we've done before. So make sure to be here for that. Subscribe, put the bell on for all upcoming videos and all that good stuff. And just join this amazing crew. I'm just very grateful. What a season it's been already, and we got so much more to go. We're only about like a third of the way through, so a lot more craziness in the future. Hopefully, we'll get healthier. I do think this team at full health is the most dangerous team in the NFL. I truly believe that. And who's to say that they won't, make another another effort to get an elite pass rusher from a team that is struggling right now. People are looking at Trey Hendrickson from the Bengals. They're looking at Max Crosby from the Raiders. There's a bunch of different options that are worth considering. Myles Garrett from the Browns. Who knows? It's just a matter of what can the Buccaneers afford to do. But anyway, it's probably not going to be this week because the Buccaneers pass rush was successful against the 49ers and Trent Williams, who wasn't perfect. And so anyway, we'll have to probably work with what we have now. For the next game, we'll see how that goes. But again, I'm not going to go into any game expecting anything less than a win. And I don't think any other Bucs fans should expect anything either. This team's firing on every cylinder that they can. We're at the top of the NFC, man. What a start to the season it's been. Very proud of the team. Resilience. Baker for MVP. Sound off in the comments below. Let me know your excitement and just get hyped because it's been a wild ride already. And I'll see you in the next video.